welcome back. Hey guys, we're out in our garden out here at Channel 3. We're all organic, and we do a lot of fertilizing this time of year. In fact, we fertilize 3 times a year. Right now, Memorial Day and Labor Day. So let's talk about the types of fertilizers and how to properly fertilize out here in the desert Southwest. First off, there's a lot of specialty type fertilizers. One of them, queen palms. And queen palms, well, they're fairly prevalent out here in the desert Southwest. They require a special type of fertilizer, and that is manganese. And it's very important that you pick up a specialized type fertilizer when you're actually picking this up. In fact, Bob, go on over to our queen palm over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's been there for about 7 to 8 years. We fertilize this guy about 3 times a year. Works out fantastic. And right below that is a kumquat tree. That's in the citrus family, and all your citrus trees, folks, are going to require fertilizing, and this is really important. If you're expecting fruit, especially later on the year, about this time, it takes about a year to develop, you've got to fertilize those 3 times. You got to do it religiously. So a high nitrogen type fertilizer, something with a, well, 5% or higher nitrogen level, something along those lines. Even a bag of manure will go a long ways. You can go ahead and utilize a lot of these deodorized steer manures or basic manure, high in nitrogen, and really stimulate that microbial activity that's so important out here in desert Southwest. Another favorite out here, of course, is tomatoes. And if tomatoes are not fertilized properly, they're invariably not going to produce for you. And you've got to fertilize them. I usually fertilize them about, once a week to once every 2 weeks or so. Something like a fertilizer, like a tomato blend, will work out fantastic. Don't forget a little bit of cornmeal is going to be real important. And then top dressing with a little bit of what we call worm castings. You can see it right here. Again, it's high in those trace elements, and it's important that we just kind of side dress the plant itself. And by side dressing, you're getting the whole root system of the plant itself, and you're going ahead and really helping that plant so that it retains that moisture in the soil. If you let that, well, you let those tomatoes dry out, you're invariably going to get that splitting. One last thing, when you're planting tomatoes, you want to go ahead and utilize a lot of what we call gypsum in the soil. This is high in calcium, and this calcium goes a long ways. So there's a lot of ways to fertilize out here. You got to get out there and start doing it. When we get back, we're going to show you some real easy ways to fertilize the rest of your plant material. And it all involves, well, a little bit of work, just kind of like up Scotty's alley. Scotty, I know you don't like a whole lot of work. I want to show you how you can do it, and even you can do it in your own yard, buddy.
Wow. Dave, I keep waiting for you to come by with your shovel.
No, I know. That's way too easy, buddy. It's back to you. You're going to have to do it. Just follow me on the next deal, and we'll show you just how to do it, and even you can do it in your own yard.
All right.
There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Owens, your garden guy. Hey, guys, we're out in the garden day, and one thing you got to remember, especially with this warm weather and these nice, cool nights, time to start fertilizing. In fact, it's very important that we fertilize everything. In fact, we talked a little bit about getting the fertilizer on those trees, especially those citrus trees. Some other things that are real important is getting out there and putting the right type of fertilizer on a lot of your different types of plant material. Let's talk a little bit about this specialized type fertilizers that are so important out here. Here's something that we use, and we utilize this a lot on our roses. It's called Epsom salts. Epsom salts will keep those canes, especially those large, what we call tea roses, those canes very stiff. So it's very important that you get a little bit of Epsom salts. Quarter to half a cup is the ideal situation. Remember to go ahead and fertilize with some good rose fertilizer. It's very important, and regular fertilization is very, very important to get lots of blooms, especially this time of year. You want a lot of phosphorus. You know, notice on that particular bag it says it has a lot of phosphorus, plus mycorrhizae. Mycorrhizae helps convert a lot of those trace elements into a usable form for the plant material. So a little bit of what we call microbial type of activity goes a long ways towards really creating that uptake. And one thing that really helps, some worm castings. In fact, staying as organic as possible. This is what we call worm castings, lots of trace elements. We side dress with this, and it's very important. A general all-purpose fertilizer is going to be something that you can just go ahead and spread on the ground. We talked a little bit about the compost. In fact, compost is probably one of the best fertilizers you can put in the ground, and believe it or not, it too has the different types of nitrogens and phosphorus in it, plus all those trace elements. And by side dressing or creating basically a layer around the plant material right at the drip line of your plants. In fact, Bob, go up to this tree right here. You can see this big mesquite tree. What we do is we fertilize right at the edges of these trees and plants. By fertilizing right there, that's where you're going to get the most uptake like we talk about so often. And that is really where a lot of your feeder roots are located on on the plant material itself. So when you're fertilizing or you're side dressing, make sure you're doing around there. But get out there, start thinking about fertilizing, start utilizing some type of organic type blend, and you're going to be in real good shape for a nice, successful spring planting.